Everybody's wrong. Rewrote the song. Thoughts become action. Tell me what's happening. What's your mind wrapped around?
This video is sponsored by Wix. Hey guys, so this is going to be a follow-up to my other video which I showed you how to create the initial website in Wix, and in this video I'm going to be showing you how to create a portfolio page. There are features within Wix such as the gallery feature which lets you display individual images and you can click on those, get information about those images. However, there isn't necessarily a way to just implement a portfolio page, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to create the portfolio page. So let's just get straight into it. So the first thing you're going to want to do is create a new page. So you're going to come up to the top here where it says Pages, Home. You're going to click up here and you go on Add Page. So once you've added a page, click on Page, and this will now give you the opportunity to name this page, and as you can see it will bring up the page that you've just created. So we're going to call this page Portfolio, and then we're going to add another page underneath this, so click Add Page, and then this one we're just going to call this one, let's call this Lettering Collection, and this will be the first, well this will be one of the projects that we're going to create a portfolio for. So for example like a Behance kind of portfolio. So I'm just going to click this and drag this underneath Portfolio. I'm going to click on the three little circles on the layer, and as you can see it says sub page down here, so once you hit that you'll see that it now becomes a sub page of the portfolio. So what you're going to do now is come to your portfolio page, and we're just going to quickly change this page up. So this is going to be sort of like a hub where you can access all of your different portfolios, like for different projects, sorry. So this is basically going to be your projects page. So in fact that'd be a good idea, let's go back and rename that. So let's go down to rename and let's call this projects page. And then these individual ones here like this will be the portfolios for each project. So what we're first going to do is change the background colour for this, and we're just going to make this the same colour as the orange on the first page, on the home page, sorry. So we have that, and let's just change the page design and get rid of this middle thing by clicking on no colour. Close that off, and what we're going to do now is we're going to bring in some images. So instead of going to the gallery and using that, we're going to be actually going down to button, and when you're down to button I'm just going to scroll down to these ones here, icon buttons, and because I'm using a circle I want my pictures to be in a circle, I'm just going to click a circle one. So for example just press this, I've got this icon, stretch this a little bit bigger. That's how big I want my images to be, roughly about this size, maybe a tad smaller. And what you're going to do is change icon, and then as you can see it gives you the option here to change, so I'm going to press change, and now you can see that it's got all the images that I've uploaded myself. So I'm just going to use the one that says Lettering Collection, let me quickly find that, this one, apply, and now as you can see it's put it into a rectangle, and I want this to be a circle, so, or I could do it a square actually. So let's go to edit, and then you can come to crop here, and then this gives you the options to crop it. So I'm just going to crop it as a square since it's easier. If you wanted to have it as a circle then you could just go into Photoshop, save it as a circle shape and then export it and then do it that way. So I'm just going to do it like this. Can I do, I'm just see if I can do it. Right, I don't believe there's a way to do it as a circle on here. So yeah, you would have to export it through Photoshop. So I'm just going to press OK, press save. And what this will do is that square image now will be saved into your images that you've uploaded. So now if you go over to hover, you can see it's still got this here, which we don't want. So we're going to change this again. Instead of having to go through and edit the size of everything again, you've now got the edited version here. So this is just a square, click on this, hit apply, and then go over to clicked, and we'll do the same again for that, hit apply. And now what you want to do is come over to the hover, which is the center one, and we're going to go to edit. And what we're going to do here is just going to try and make this a little bit brighter so that when you hover over it, it brightens up so you can see which one you're hovered over. So I'm just going to play with a few of the effects here. So let's go with illuminate, so that makes it a little bit brighter. High def, that looks a bit bad, so let's apply on that. What else could we try? Brightness, let's see if that does anything. Slightly makes it brighter. Contrast, makes it a little bit brighter, that's okay. What else is the warmth, does this do anything? changes the colour. So you could make it go a colour if you wanted to. Or what you could do, in fact, is just simply create a faded version on Photoshop or Illustrator or whatever it is, and then re-import it and upload that as the image. So you could make it a little bit bigger or make it a little bit smaller so it like pops when you hover over it. But for this, I'm just going to make it change colour a little bit so it'll brighten up a little bit as if you hovered over it. So hit OK, and that'll just do what it's doing. And now we'll just X out of that, make this a little bit bigger, and I'll just show you what it does. So if I go over to preview at the top now, you can see when I hover over it, it lights up, so you know which one you're selected over. So I'm going to go back to editor, and now what we're going to do is we're going to link this to the actual portfolio page that we want. So which page, and then it's going to be lettering collection. Hit done, and now let's just format this a little bit. So say about that size, and just as an example, because we probably have a few of these, so we probably have a centered piece as well. Get it centered, there it is. These smart guides. And again, we'd probably have another one, say over here. So I'm just going to go over to the home page quickly and grab some type off there, so I know I'm using the same type that I've used, so it's consistent throughout. And I'm just going to use this as the title, so Command C, and then come back over to the projects page, and I'm just going to paste that in. So Photoshop, edit the type, and let's just call this one lettering collection. Oops, keep it all caps. Let's call that lettering collection, and let's just make this the same size. Right, and what you can also do with this now is just add an animation so it matches everything else. So let's just do a fade in. I'll have to do the same for these two. So fade in, and of course these ones you can change. So obviously if you've got multiple different projects, then have different projects here, and then they could all link to different pages. But since this is a tutorial, I'm just going to do one page, and that's going to be the lettering collection one. So let me just make this more like an actual page. So I'm going to drag this down, so like that. Right, so let's go to preview, and now you'll see all these hover and work, and then if you click this one, this will take you to the page which we've not actually done anything with, which is going to be the actual portfolio page. So back to editor, and I'm just going to come back to the projects page, make sure everything's fine, and so far I think everything looks fine on here. We could probably do with making these maybe a bit bigger, maybe not this close to each other, maybe a bigger gap, but you get the idea. When you've got more images in here, it'll build up and it'll look more like one of the gallery pieces. So say you go to add, let's go to the gallery. So say you wanted it to look like this, but you can't actually get the hover over effect on this, like where it goes a bit brighter. You can't get that effect on these and have them linked. So this was my alternative version of doing it, was creating them individually like this, so then you can have this hover over effect, and you can really experiment with that in Photoshop and Illustrator by exporting different ones for the hover. So you could have it matching the colour of the website, for example, when you hover over it. So now we're actually going to focus on the actual project page. So we're going to come over to the page thing at the top here, it says pages, and you come down to lettering collection or whatever your project's titled, and just drag this down. So first we're just going to change the background colour like we did with the other page. So change page design, no colour, that just gets rid of the middle part, and then change page background. Let's go to colour, and we'll just keep this one white actually for now, because the project that I'm going to be putting into this is going to be black and white anyway, so we don't really want the orange to be too over the top with this one. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add a GIF at the top of my page, which is going to be the name of the project. Now I know that some of you won't have animated GIFs for the titles of your projects, which is absolutely fine and understandable. So in that case you could add like an image reel sort of thing, so like a slideshow with maybe like one or two pieces of the main piece of type or main features of the project to be displayed at the top, so anybody that's viewing it can see the main things first, then scroll down and view the actual project. So I'm just going to add a GIF, and to do this I'm just simply going to add a strip. There we go. So I'm going to come to classic strip, click add, I'm just going to drag it down a little bit bigger, and I'm going to go to change strip background and click image, and then find the GIF that I want to use, and I'm going to use this one. But make sure that when you do this, your GIF is made specifically for this at the right size, because as you can see, once I put this on, the type's actually going to be quite big across the screen, which isn't necessarily ideal. It looks kind of messy and blurry as well. So you want to make sure that if you're using a GIF, then it's designed specifically for this size, because as you can see now, you don't really want it to be this big, but just for this tutorial I'm going to keep it as it is. So that's sort of like the introduction to this page. And now we're going to start actually putting in some images of our work. So what we're going to do is come down to add, click strip again, so we've got another strip, and I'm going to make this a fairly decent size, and I'm going to adjust this once I've added in my image. So again, with this you're going to go to change strip background, image, and this is where you can start to put in your images of your work. So I'm just going to do mine in alphabetical order, because I'm going to be doing some parallax scrolling as well, which I want to show you how to do. So I'm just click add on, change background, and that'll just load up. There we go. And let's see, so right, so that's stretching it to the size. So what we can do is come to settings, scale to fit, and we can do original size. Okay, so that's bigger than the actual one, so let's go title, let's see what that does. So it's not really changed anything, so we'll just go with scale to fit for now. And what we can do then is just duplicate this by pressing Command C, Command V, or Control C, Control V if you're on PC. And what I'm going to do now is just drag this down so it matches to that. There we go. Change strip background, and I'm just going to change this to a different image. So let's go with the Aspire, since that's a letter A as well. Change strip background, and now you can see that those two have loaded up. And actually I'm going to leave a little white line between this as a bit of a separator. And then these two can stay connected like that. So now we're going to add the parallax scrolling. So what you're going to do is come to add, come down to strip, and then where it says parallax here, you can use these because the parallax feature's already built into these. So I'm just going to click on this one since it's quite a thin one, and delete the type that's on the middle of it. Click on change strip background, come over to image, wait for these to load. And I'm using the images that I've actually used for my personal website, and since this project that I'm basically building on here is based around hand lettering, these pictures will work fine for this. So I'm just going to use a black and white picture of my pens and pencils that I have. Click on change background, and what I'm going to do is drag this so it's overlaying the Aspire picture, and let's drag it down a bit as well. And then what I'm going to do is place this at the back. And the reason I'm overlaying it is because when you have the parallax scroll, if I have this, let's say here for example, if I go to preview now and I scroll quite fast, you can see how it flashes white. That's because it's showing the background that's beneath it. So if you go back to editor, if you make this fairly far up and overlaid, and you come back to preview, you'll see that it doesn't have that anymore. It's just a nice parallax scroll. So come back to editor, and we're going to add some more images below. So get this, Control C, Control V, or Command C, Command V. So we want this to be about this size. So what we're going to do is going to make sure it's definitely overlaid by quite a bit. I mean, the images of mass is quite big anyway, so that helps. So let's drag this up a little bit more. And let's just quickly change this one just to show you what it'll look like. And then let's go to image, and then we'll go to B, since it's the alphabetical order. Where's B? There's got to be something with B. There we go. Beans. Change background, and that's in there. So now if I go to preview, you'll see how it looks. So start off, you have your introduction thing here. Obviously this one, if you're doing it yourself and it's not going to be blurry and this big, it'll look nice and tidy. Scroll down, and then you have your pieces of work, and then you have the nice little bit of parallax scrolling here, so it just gives a bit more life to the page. It just feels like it gives it a bit more character. So to add the details of the images, what we're going to do is come to add, come up to text at the top, and then come down to the smallest paragraph at the bottom. Click and drag this just into a random place for now, and I'm just going to paste in the placement type that we just copied, the lorem ipsum, and let's just change the details. So colour of the type, I'm just going to make this white so it stands out on the background. Make sure you have the type highlighted before you try and make changes, otherwise it won't do it. Press that, have a near light. We'll just keep it as this for now, and let's turn the point size down to, say, 11. That looks a bit more reasonable. And because the type's going to be on the right hand side, I'm going to change the alignment so it sits to this side. And I think that looks fine for now. So there. Let's animate this. So let's go fade in. And what I'm going to do now is quickly come back to the home page, because I remember I have these little dashed lines that I want to use. So this little shape here, I'm just going to copy that, come back to the lettering collection page, and I'm just going to paste this on the opposite side. So let's paste with Control V or Command V. And because it's quite a small object, I don't think I can actually select. Oh yeah, I can select to move. Okay, so I'm going to align this with the top of the type. Like this, and what I'm going to do is just select them both, holding Shift, and then group elements. So now these are a group, and what you can do then is just copy it and paste these down to each piece. And in fact, what I need to do is measure the distance from the top. So I'm just going to hold Shift and then use the arrow keys and go down like 10 spaces. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll just do 5 actually. I thought it was going to go further than that. Not as far, sorry. So just do 5 down from the top. Drag this one, make sure it's in the right place at the top, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now they should be the same, and then obviously just do the exact same thing now for the rest of the type in there with the rest of the work. And I'm just going to quickly add another one of these and then another parallax thing, just to give you an idea of obviously how a bigger project would actually look. So let's go down and let's copy and paste this. So now we have the copy and paste one, and now that we already have these on the strip, once you copy and paste the strip, the actual type itself will be duplicated along with it too, which is quite helpful. So maybe recommend adding the type once you've done the first piece, if this is the sort of project that you're laying out. Right, lovely. And what I'm going to do now is just copy and paste the parallax scrolling again. So Control C, Control V, and I'm going to drag this one down at the bottom. So we're going to have another parallax scroll here, and it's going to be a different image, but it's going to be of the similar thing, so it's keeps with the theme. So let's go down here. This probably needs to be overlapping quite a bit, and then like we did before, we're going to come over to the arrange and then move it to the bottom. What I'm going to do here is now change the strip background, change image. As I did before, select one of the pictures that I took. So let's go with this one, more pens. That'll change, and now let's just quickly do another one of these. And now I can give you a bit of an example of how this would scroll. So let's go back up to the top, hit save just to be safe. Close that, and then we'll go to preview. So now as you can see, this comes on at the start, the lettering thing, which would actually loop as well, so it loops around. And you scroll down and then you can start to see your actual project. And you have these nice little bits of parallax scrolling here which make it just feel a bit more alive. And it just makes it a lot more interesting to look at overall as well. So the last thing I want to do is add a video. So what I'm going to do is come down to the bottom. So let's say that I've finished my project, I've got everything there, and then I just want to add a little video at the bottom. What I'm going to do is come over to add, and where it comes down to says video, oops, it says Wix video, and it's got this long strip here. So what I'm going to do is click on the strip, wait for that to load, and I'm just going to drag this into place. And with this you actually have the option to upload your own video directly to Wix, or you can simply use one from YouTube. So when you come onto this, it'll be empty and you'll be prompted with this. And so now this means you can upload it from your computer, YouTube, video, or Vimeo or Facebook. So I'm just going to do it with YouTube since I've already got it uploaded to YouTube, so it just makes it easier for me. And it's this video here, so I'm just going to copy and paste the URL. Oops, wrong thing. Paste that in, add to library. And now it's there. So come down to channels, it's called channel 1. So we want to change the name of the channel because, wait for it to load and you'll see what I mean. It usually says the name of the channel here, so I've got the minute, I've just put it as a full stop. To change the name of the channel, what you want to do is come over to manage videos, and then you're going to come to channels, and then where it has this little edit icon here, you're going to press on that. And at the name here, at the top here, it gives you the option to put a name. So for the name, let's just call this one Lettering Collection. And now you'll see that it places it on the front of the video. So let me just close that, wait for it to load. Now it says lettering collection there, which is the title of the video anyway, but since it's already written, I don't really want anything there, so I'm just going to go back into this quickly, and I'm just going to change the name to just a full stop, so it's not really noticeable. And then what you're going to do is come to settings, because as you can see you have this at the bottom where it says all videos. I'm going to get rid of that, so I'm going to press settings, come down to settings, and as you can see it's now got all these here. So I'm going to take off share my video, show channel info, show sign in, what else, show search, we'll get rid of that, show info on player, show my videos, share my videos, layout. So let's go with expand when clipped, never show. So that gets rid of the video list at the bottom. What else do we want? Display info, title, get rid of that. Publisher, get rid of that. Show info on hover. So we'll just keep these on because I'm not entirely sure what these are. So now if you come over to preview and hit preview, you'll now see that you've got a video at the bottom. So yeah, that's the video added. So now say people have been through, looked at the project and they want to see the video at the end, they can simply press the button and it'll open up the YouTube video. And one last thing that I almost forgot to do is the portfolio button at the top here. We need to change this, so this needs to link to the projects thing. So go here, press done, preview, and now the whole website should function absolutely perfectly. So if you come to press this, take you back to the home page. So you have all your home page here, all your details and whatever. And then you come over to portfolio at the top, and this will redirect you to this page where you can then select which projects you want to view. So I want to view the lettering collection one, hit that, and that will redirect me to the lettering collection project. So yeah, I hope this tutorial has helped some of you guys, and this is just how I create my own personal portfolio on Wix, because it just seems to be better and it looks much better than just having the simple little gallery layout, and there isn't a whole lot you can do with that. But with this you have full creative control, so you can select what goes where, what colours you want, and you just have more control over each like minor details about things. So if you're looking to create a portfolio with Wix, then I would definitely recommend going this way about it rather than just clicking and adding a gallery, which is a very easy method to do, but there's just not a whole lot you can actually do with it. So yeah, like I said, I really hope this tutorial has helped some of you guys. Let me know if there's anything else you want to know about features in Wix or what you can do with it. I'd be more than happy to create some more videos talking about things that you can do within Wix. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So thank you very much for watching, guys, and I'll see you soon.